So spring practice comes to a close. Seems like there was a lot of team period today. Was that kind of something you wanted to make sure you got in before the end of it?
Yeah, we've done a lot of situational football, so really want to do more, move the balls, get all the scenarios, first down, second down, third down. You end up in some red zone. And we played a lot of the young guys up front today offensively, and I think it's just a good way to close out spring practice. I thought we had a really good spring overall. Got a lot of good work with a lot of young players, and then the vets got their time in, and I think they're continuing to make progress, and so we're very pleased with how the 15 practices went.
There's a lot of cheering over there in that huddle. What's going on over there?
No, it was some good stuff. I mean, just one of the things that we always talk about is being a connected football team, and I think just kind of reiterating that at the end of practice there of how the winter was and how the spring was, and then also rewarding guys that have put the hard work in. And Drew Logan was one of the guys that was a walk-on football player. We just, he's not going to have to pay for school anymore, which is awesome. And I've been there. I've been a part of that. And that's a great feeling. And I was telling the guys, and now, we're in this era of crazy college athletics, particularly football and basketball, where guys can go anywhere they want, they can transfer anywhere, and they're getting compensated. And then you still have some guys out there like Drew that pay for everything, and they show up every day and they work as hard as everybody out here, and they do it for the love of the game, and that is inspiring. And so I wanted to recognize him in front of everybody to let everybody know that some of you guys are making some money out here, but here's a guy who he don't make a dime. And now he's going to get his school paid for. So I think that was a special moment. The teammate, he's very well respected.
So you lost a guy, but I still saw guys that can catch the ball.
Yeah, we got guys, and I think that's part of the world we're in right now, and and I think there's certainly no hard feelings for anybody that feels like they need to go to another school and do what's best for them. I mean, I feel like we're going to get the guys we need to get to go out and compete for a Big 12 championship. We got a bunch of great players right out here that have the right stuff about them to go out and compete for that Big 12 championship.
As a former walk-on, do you get a little emotional doing something
Yeah,
like that?
I do. I mean, I kind of have been thinking about it all spring because he's had a great spring. I mean, he's maybe as improved as anybody we've had on our team, and he's really stood out. And he's not come to me for anything, and so you just respect him a little bit more. So yeah, there's certainly a soft place in my heart for a guy like that, and that doesn't happen every day. I don't even remember if we've done it since I've been here, but but he earned it. I think that's the key. He earned that, and he earned that opportunity. So I'm very excited for him.
Has Logan Wilson been your most consistent corner?
Yeah, I think so. He's for him, he was very excited when we said we're going to move him to corner this spring, and he felt like that was his natural position, and for him to go out and I thought he did a great job out there, playing physical at corner, played with great confidence, and I thought he did some really good stuff. And I think we certainly need that at this level. We know we're going to play good receivers every week, week in and week out, and you got to have those corners that can hold up.
How would you assess the offensive tackle spots right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Buford certainly has held down the right tackle spot. I think Xavier has really come on strong to give us some great depth there at tackle, and I think he'll be in the rotation. I think Judea has got to have an opportunity to be in the rotation. And I think opportunity in the portal to go help us some more, and I think we're going to be okay at that position. I think, and then I'm excited about our guys on the inside as well, and so. I feel like our offensive line will be very, very solid this year with probably 7 to 8 guys that'll be able to be in the rotation.
So Hunt had what would have been a sack today. How has he been as he's come back from?
Who's that?
Hunt.
Oh, Hunt. Yeah, we haven't played him much this spring. I think he's certainly coming off the injury. He is a very talented 300-pound guy that is very versatile up front. He not only can he play nose, but he also can play the edge and use that quickness. I think he's had a great spring. Picked up where he left off before the injury, so we got to get him to the games. I mean, he don't even need to practice anymore. I just keep working hard and get him to the games because, we certainly missed him last year, and he'll be a guy that'll be a force this year if he can stay healthy.
Who were or what was the highlight of the spring? I mean, you might not want to
I don't know. I mean, Drew Logan right there was pretty much, to me, the highlight of the spring. That's awesome to be able to reward a guy like that. But I think I don't know if there was, any one thing that was a highlight. I thought it was just a very good spring practice. I thought, we competed at a high level, got a lot of good work done. It's exactly what you want to do in spring practice.
Samaj Jones, last year, you could see the talent, but it maybe reining in the fastball and learning the other pitches. he seems like he has made a significant progress this spring.
Yeah, he has. He's a very talented player. It really, for him, it comes down to, the proper decision making. That's really what it comes. He's got the talent to make all the throws. He can certainly run. He can operate our offense. It's going to come down to him just really good decision making and taking what the defense gives him, and that's any young player. That's going to be the case. And I certainly am looking forward to him getting opportunities this fall to get in the game and see what he can do, because he is talented. And I think for him, his best football is when he'll be playing a game. I really do. I think he's going to be the gamer type thing. He shows out in practice. He does some good things, but I think once the lights come on, he's out there. He's a very competitive person, and I think he'll give it all when he gets out there to play.
How hard is it to get a guy that's got a great fastball to learn how to
It's
take
tough.
a little off?
Yeah, it's tough because that's kind of how they got to where they are. Having a big, strong arm like that. He has layered some balls a few times this spring I thought were really nice, getting over the defender and dropping it in. And it is. That'll be a lot of work this summer for him, working on deep throws, working on those, taking a little bit off, the underneath throws. Ball sails on him a little bit, so that's stuff we'll continue to work on.
Of the transfers, anyone better than you expected?
I don't know. I mean, I think certainly guys lived up to what I expected and maybe a little bit more. I mean, Ty Wee's a guy I thought he had a great spring. I mean, I thought he was going to be a really good back, but he did some things I was like, okay, wow. He had some long runs where I didn't know that he could do that. I think he broke some good tackles. He's got great hands, so I think he was one that certainly kind of turned our heads a little bit. Jeff Caldwell's another one. I think you just can't help but notice him. He's a tall, long guy that can run fast, and so he's done some great things. Cyrus is a guy who he didn't miss a practice, and I thought coming in that, he made, because he had an injury coming in, maybe he'd be a guy that would miss practice, and we had a lot of wideouts miss practice, but he didn't. He was every one of them 15 practices, and that showed his toughness, and I was glad to see that.
Harris looked like he's usually out there with your starting safety group.
Yeah, I thought he's very solid all spring. He's a really good football player. He can play multiple positions in the back end, probably all three safety spots. I think he's just got a knack for playing ball, and he's very savvy, plays with great poise, great attributes to have in the back end.
Health-wise, it seemed like guys stayed relatively healthy, a lot of staying off the ground, not a lot of huge hits, and going after each other.
That was an emphasis. I thought he did a great job with that, staying off the ground and trying to keep everybody healthy. In a competitive environment, it's tough sometimes. I thought the guys did an excellent job with that. Now you go into the summer and you're relatively healthy, so I mean, you just gotta leave. That's the one thing, you just got to make sure you stay healthy throughout the summer, and it's a long summer, before we get ready to start playing. So you can't really worry about it. You got to train hard and be ready to go. So hopefully we'll stay healthy.
Do you think that the recovery additions that are coming with the new facility are going to help with that?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. It's a tremendous building with a lot of opportunity to recover your body, to get back full speed for the next day to train. That's what it's all about in that building, and I think our guys will take advantage of that, and it's going to be so convenient for them. And some of the stuff I really don't know what it does, supposed to do, but I'm going to try it all. So we're going to see if it really works. But I'm glad we got it, and I can't wait. Soon we'll be in that building.
You already got your office packed?
Not yet, but I got a couple things in some boxes ready to go that I don't know I won't need here the next month. I'll be traveling a little bit in May, so we got camps coming up in June, so then we'll be in the building, so we'll be ready to go.
Assess your new kicker after seeing him throughout the spring.
Yeah, I thought he had a very solid spring. We got to get more consistent in the snap game, as far as the short snaps go, but when he got the good snaps, he knocked them down. It was great to see the spring game when he had people out here, he knocked those down. I thought he had a really, really solid spring, and I think I'm excited about him. He's a very poised guy. He doesn't get rattled, and I think that's a great attribute to have as a kicker. I'm excited about having him be able to hopefully go out here and knock down some kicks. We're going to need him in these games we play. We know that.
Do you sleep with your phone for the next week, or do you do that anyway?
I do that. It's right there. It's right beside me. It's it'll be these next couple of weeks are interesting, and again, I like where we're at team-wise. Maybe we'll have a surprise or two. I don't know. We'll see. And then, we're going to bring some guys. Heads up. Sorry about that. We're going to bring some guys in here the next week and, see which ones stick. So hopefully it'll enhance our team and be ready to go play and compete.
Rolde was very solid last year. What's the ceiling this year?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. I feel like he'll be very comfortable or more comfortable this year compared to last year. We saw that each and every week. He can play multiple positions, so that to me is going to be the thing. Where do we play him? He can certainly play outside, but he can play in the box as well. So he gives us a lot of versatility. So he'll have a big year. There's no question about it. He'll make a lot of tackles. Good?
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks,